Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another live show. And obviously, this is the sound of the super chat. So if you haven't tuned into a live show before, you may not know what this does. But if you choose to super chat, and you can do so, there's that little super chat icon down there in the chat area. You can choose to super chat, and the sound of the super chat will go off. If we get through $100 US during a single live show, then I will break out the drum. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in here. We got a lot of cool stuff. Actually, a lot of the recent updates to my channel pertain to this right here. And obviously this is the GoPro Hero 9 Black. So GoPro has done an incredible job. Admittedly, I've kind of taken, I've used GoPro Hero 2 through present being the GoPro Hero 9 Black that I have right here in my hands. But GoPro has taken a huge step forward with the GoPro Hero 9 Black. So, for example, the side, the way it pops down, and then, you can pop your battery out. The battery is larger. This battery is a, let's see, GoPro Hero 9 battery is, should say the capacity here. Here we go. It's a 1720 milliamp, 6.62 watt hour. So it's a physically larger battery. And initially I thought, oh, they just put a bigger battery on there because the GoPro has a screen on the front as well as the back. But much to my surprise, after using the GoPro Hero 9 Black for many hours in the field, I found that, that the battery being larger has actually resulted in better battery life. This GoPro Hero 9 Black has the best battery life of any GoPro to date. So, some other notable things about the GoPro Hero 9 Black is that it will record in 5K 30. And a lot of people are like, hey man, why would you want to record in 5K 30? That's kind of a weird resolution. Well, actually the value add, and check out my how to edit 5K 30 GoPro video. The value add is that out of the camera, instead of capturing in 4K, you're capturing in 5K. So you're getting more detail. If you need to, crop your video within post-production, if you filmed in 5K from the camera, you can crop in post without losing the detail. So, by it being a physically larger canvas to work with, if you're cropping and then publishing as 4K, you can still crop a little bit and not lose quality. And especially if you're filming in 5K and then you are publishing a project in 1080, there's a ton of room to crop there without sacrificing quality. So GoPro Hero 9 Black, from a video quality perspective, better battery life, the stabilization, and again, it's software stabilization. So, gone is the need to have a mechanical gimbal for your GoPro. The stabilization that comes in inside of the GoPro Hero 9 Black is incredible. I mean, it looks like a gimbal, and it's the GoPro image stabilization, what they call hyper smooth. It's come a long way. Some of the earlier versions of software video stabilization weren't that great. This is excellent. So, I can strap this, and you're going to see my videos from the Appalachian Trail. I've got a backpack strap mount that I'm going to be using. Obviously, also a monopod. Probably won't use a head strap mount that much. I mean, head strap mounts are cool, but there's just so much, unless you walk and just kind of keep your head staring at a certain area, there's times where a head strap mount would be appropriate. But I think for hiking, I think that backpack strap mounted mount that I'm using for my GoPro Hero 9 Black, I think that's going to be the optimal mount, that and the monopod, just to get the best document the adventure. And I will be summiting Mount LeConte. Mount LeConte is one of the it is the tallest. It and Kleeman's Dome are the two tallest peaks in the Smoky Mountain National Park. So that ought to make for some cool videos with the GoPro Hero 9 Black. Other things that's been going on, obviously doing a lot with the Schwinn IC4. I mean, I'm still fat, but I'm becoming less fat thanks to the Schwinn IC4. It's been an incredible bike and something I'm really looking forward to. And again, the Schwinn IC4 is a magnetic resistance indoor bike, so it's very quiet, it's very smooth. There's a minimal amount of parts to break, and typically with home exercise equipment, that's something that has always been a problem, is that home exercise equipment is not gym quality. So, there's always, there's been things that have, that break quickly, and it's been a bad thing to do. But because of the pandemic, you can't just, well, you could, but I can't just stop working out because there's a pandemic. So I've got to shift and get get an at-home exercise bike. And I've been super happy with my decision to buy the Schwinn IC4. It's a lot less expensive than the Peloton. I can still use the Peloton app. Something I'm super excited about, and it hasn't released yet, but I think it's coming. Actually, I think they just said Q4 of 2020. So fourth quarter of this year, Apple's got a new workout program in it, to pair with your Apple Watch, which means I can use it with my Schwinn IC4. But it's called the Apple Fitness Plus. And Apple Fitness Plus, again, I haven't used it yet. It hasn't released yet, but it's releasing fourth quarter of this year. Fitness Plus, in my opinion, if they execute it well, Fitness Plus could be the kill-all when it comes to, app, a fitness app, whether it's cycling, running, strength training, whatever. If Apple executes well, I think that's the app that could potentially displace leading apps like Peloton. I mean, Peloton's awesome. I'm not talking about the Peloton bike app. I'm just talking about the Peloton app like I use, and I just use my own bike. I mean, I did outdoor hiking. I did outdoor walking, and I was tracking tracking that with Peloton to get exercise points while I'm walking and hiking instead of cycling. So it's nice being able to, get all of that data, all of that exercise data in one place, and track your progress. But I mean, that's super important. But yeah, it's Apple Fitness Plus is gearing up to be, when it comes to, an app to motivate people to become more fit. I think Apple Fitness Plus is going to be the big kahuna. So we'll see what comes with that. But I've been super stoked about the GoPro Hero 9 Black. I mean, GoPro, and I'll confess, GoPro really irritated me when they released the GoPro Karma drone. And also when they came out with the Karma drone, they came out with the Karma grip, which was nice. It was a gimbal grip for the GoPro. But then, their GoPro Karma drone had problems. And instead of just scrapping the design and creating something better, they waited. They released it after the so-called problem was fixed, and then they abandoned the drone. So that kind of made me bitter at GoPro. So there was a gap where I didn't use GoPro products. I mean, after the Karma, I was so irritated by the way they handled that I just lost interest in GoPro, and I was using the DJI Osmo Action, and I hate to say it, but this just destroys the DJI Osmo Action. And that was something that, made the Osmo Action so cool, is that it was probably the first action camera that had a face-forward LCD. But, GoPro Hero 9 Black has that, plus better image stabilization, in my opinion, overall better build quality. And something that's so nice about this is at the bottom now is that, you just pop this out. So if you're attaching to a GoPro mount, you just pop that out. If you're not, that folds up in there. You could sit it on a flat surface, if you're doing like a sunset video, or you could, it's something when you're throwing it in a pack, that's one less thing to get caught up on stuff. It just folds down. Also, you don't have to use the housing for this. How nice is that? The old GoPros, you had to put it in what they call the frame or whatever, and that's just an extra piece that, you could forget. And how many times with your old GoPros Did you forget to, to bring the housing, and then you're out in the field and you had the GoPro, but you didn't have anything to mount it with because you left the housing back. So, yeah, GoPro's done a really good job. And then again, with the Hero 9 Black, and I'm not going to pop it off because I don't have the need to, but this lens filter will pop off. If you crack it, you can replace it. Also, there's something, and I don't really think I'm going to pick it up, but there's some sort of super fancy, I forget the name of it, but super fancy lens filter for GoPro Hero 9 Black that's supposed to do something, and I don't know if I'm going to pick that up. Likewise, I'm not going to pick up, there's a microphone add-on for the GoPro Hero 9 Black, but man, the microphone built into this, especially if you're wearing it on your, if you're wearing it on a backpack strap mount, or you've got a monopod and it's kind of close to you, this integrated microphone sounds phenomenal. For an action camera, it's awesome. I mean, it really is. Now, ultimately, if I'm doing a professional shoot and it's where I'm face on video or I'm interviewing somebody or something like that, I'm going to use my Sony Alpha and I'm going to use my Rode microphone. But for action, when you don't want to bust out your camera that's not waterproof, that's not ruggedized, for action, this GoPro Hero 9 Black is the boss. And again, the microphone in this, the audio that this GoPro Hero 9 Black records is more than usable. It actually sounds exceptional. I mean, now I'm not going to tell you it's as good as my Rode microphone audio because it's not. But is it better than the audio built into like Sony Alpha cameras? A heck of a lot better. Is it better than the audio built into most cameras? Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, this stuff sounds solid. It's more than usable. And to think it's coming out of an action camera, this waterproof and ruggedized, is pretty phenomenal. So, yeah, GoPro's done a really good job with this. And again, the better battery life, that's been super nice. And I like the way this pops open. You just pull down, and then you can pull your battery out. You can put your micro SD card in there, and you can use the USB-C to charge or download your videos. And I really like the way they've designed this. Now, ultimately, I've just put a big micro SD card in there, and I never popped the micro SD card out. Because at 5K 30, and I'm not looking at it to the second, but at 5K 30, I had over 4 hours of recording time on one micro SD card. And, there's no way I'm going to be, well, I don't want to say there's no way. I'm still going to take an extra micro SD card just in case I get some really cool footage and I exceed 4 hours out in the field. But it would be unusual that I would film more than 4 hours of GoPro video in one day, unless I'm doing a lot of time lapses. So, if you're doing that, I could see how it would happen. But yeah, GoPro's just done a really, bang up job with this, and I'm happy when there's when there's a product to be happy about, and this is definitely this is definitely an example of that. And again, GoPro's been around for a while. It's nothing new. I'm not saying, this is, when the GoPro first came out, well, the first GoPro, including myself, didn't really get it. They didn't understand, well, why would you want a camera that's so stripped down? And then you realize, the reason you want a camera like that is because you can attach it to almost anything and get really cool perspectives. And that was back before YouTube was big. So GoPro, in my opinion, didn't really start to catch on until the GoPro Hero 2. And the GoPro Hero 2, that's when I started with GoPro. You can look back on my GoPro video playlist on my channel, and you can see all my old GoPro Hero 2 and other older GoPro Hero model videos as well. So, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've just really enjoyed the GoPro. So, got a lot of people tuning in here. Just kind of a weird time for a live show, 7:09 p.m. New York City time, 7:09 Eastern, if you're watching this live. Just wanted to hop on and do a, just kind of do a quick live show, and got a lot of big adventures coming. So, just because we're in a pandemic doesn't mean that everything's inaccessible. I've really I've really put a lot of thought into, you know, what can safely be done during the pandemic as far as travel and adventure. So I'm going to have that. You know, I'm going to be on the Appalachian Trail. You know, what better place to be during the pandemic than the Appalachian Trail? So I'm going to be bringing y'all a ton of footage and, you know, just a cool, cool wilderness experiment, cool wilderness experience, rather, documented on youtube.com/IrixGuy's. So, you know, going out and capturing those videos here for this YouTube channel. And, you know, obviously a lot of camera reviews in the field. I'll be taking my Sony A7R4, the GoPro Hero 9 Black. I will not be taking a drone. And the reason I will not be taking a drone is because drones, of course, are disallowed in, you know, in a national park. So I'm not even, I mean, there's no need to have it with me because I'm not going to use it. So, but I will have all of these cameras. And that's going to be, excuse me. That's going to be good to capture all the footage. And, yeah, man, we're going to get a lot of cool stuff coming here. What is that edge? I just noticed a weird artifact in one of my videos. Hold on, let me see what that's all about. It's just it was an error with the way it was appearing or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I was afraid there was a corner cut off of one of my videos, like it wasn't centered, and that would have been unacceptable, but that wasn't the case. It was just the way it was appearing there. So, yep. So, got a bunch of goes without saying, got a ton of GoPro Hero 9 Black videos coming because this thing is incredible. And one of the things that's been most exciting about the GoPro Hero 9 Black, again, is the hyper smooth. You know, just how, you know, you can twist this thing around. You can be on bumpy terrain, whatever, and this thing keeps things stabilized. And you can even do what's called what's called a linear mode with horizon leveling. And what that'll do, and you can check out my video where I demonstrate that, but that'll flatten out the video so it doesn't have the fisheye look. And then the horizon leveling will make the footage, like if your camera is a little bit cockeyed or whatever, it would level it out so that the recorded video seems to be level with the horizon. And that's a really phenomenal technology. So, I mean, there's, you know, there's so much technology in this tiny little camera. It's just, you know, it blows my mind. So, yeah, that is super cool. Got my H2O. Jeff, is he using OBS? Actually, I'm not. I'm using the A10 Mini Pro. So I'm face on video with the Sony A7R4. And then I've got in the background, that's a 4K video clip that I recorded on Joost Van Dyke. And I've got it coming into my A10 Mini Pro HDMI 4, camera 4 on the A10 Mini Pro. So that's my green screen backdrop. And then, of course, my lower third here, it says IrixGuy's Live Show. That's coming from the media tab of the ATEM software control. So it's actually pretty cool. I can do all of this. This quality is great. I appreciate it. And you know what's funny, Jeff, what's funny, you mentioned the quality. This quality with the A10 Mini Pro is the lowest quality settings. It's got 3 settings, and this is the lowest one because I've got really poor bandwidth. So when I get a faster internet connection, I'm going to max it out to the maximum quality. But that's awesome. You say it looks great, and you know, again, because this is the lowest quality setting that is you know, that's offered with the A10 Mini Pro. And I'm broadcasting directly from the A10 Mini Pro's network jack. Now I do see a little bit of green fringing on me there from the green screen, but it's actually it's pretty phenomenal that just seeing how this ATEM hardware has continued to get better. I mean, they've been pumping out firmware updates. It's just a rock solid thing, man. I mean, admittedly, when I first got it, I was like, that's a decent amount of change to throw into a piece of live streaming hardware. But the beauty of it is that, and I never really used OBS. I know it's very similar to Wirecast. I used Wirecast, and Wirecast worked great. But the thing is, when I was using Wirecast on my laptop and doing all the live chroma keying and all of that, I mean, it was really, hogging the system resources. With this, all the green screening, all of that is off of my computer. And, even the live stream RT, what they call it, the RTMP. The RTMP stream is, again, that's the ATEM Mini Pro connected directly to YouTube for the RTMP. So as far as being, a very lean from a system resources perspective solution, this thing's great because, I mean, it's doing all the heavy lifting. I mean, basically all I'm doing from my laptop is reading your comments and doing, loading the ATEM software control, because my physical ATEM's across the room. So I use my ATEM software control, which is just a software version of the hardware. Jeff says, thanks for your detailed answer. How do you pull in guest? That's what I've been wondering too. Oh man, that's actually really easy. Well, I say it's easy to pull in guest. It's quite a workflow. And what I'll say, and I can't do it this evening, but if you would like to run a test, I'll be happy to set up a live show and step through it. But at a high level, what you do, right now I've got a few cables. So I've got this cable right here, which is a USB from my Rodecaster Pro into my MacBook Pro. So that's important. The second piece for live guest, in my case, I use MacBook Pro, so I have a USB-C from my MacBook Pro to camera 2 in my ATEM Mini Pro. And what that enables me to do is share my, it functions like a secondary monitor. So if I go into ATEM software control, go to output, and go to camera 2, I will see what's referred to as camera 2, but that's actually where my live guest would be. So that's my secondary display, but there's not a physical display. So I run Skype on that, and then within Skype, because I've got the USB connection to my laptop from my Rodecaster Pro, within Skype, I select the Rodecaster Pro as the speakers, and I select the Rodecaster Pro as the microphone. The end result is that when I'm Skyping, and all I'm doing on YouTube Live is I'm sharing camera 2, but the way that I've got Skype set up on there, all the audio is through my Rodecaster Pro. So when I'm doing my YouTube live stream and I've got Skype guest, the YouTube viewers hear my guest, they see my guest, they hear and see me, but they don't get any of the wonky audio issues. So that's how I do it. And again, I'm, for my Rodecaster, for my ATEM Mini Pro, for this live stream, I've got the ATEM Mini Pro connected directly to YouTube by way of the network cable. So, the ATEM Mini Pro is using, is maintaining that RTMP connection. But when I throw Skype on top of it, that's how I do that, just camera 2, which is, let's just call it a virtual monitor off of my MacBook Pro. So it goes without saying, I share camera 2 with my guest, and they're seeing the desktop that's running Skype. So that's how they see me, and that's how they see the Skype guest. So, yeah, man, if you ever want to do a live show and just troubleshoot ATEM Mini Pro, Rodecaster Pro, anything like that, I'm always always looking to do that. It's stuff that, that may provide value for others as well. Because admittedly, this hardware is awesome, especially when you pair the A10 Mini Pro with the Rodecaster Pro. It's awesome hardware for live streaming, but it does come with a slight learning curve. And, the good thing is that, after you've done it a few times, it, without a doubt, it becomes second nature. So I've been happy with that. It's been the best live streaming setup it is the best live streaming setup that I've ever had. And that's, the only other thing I've used is Wirecast. But, this is just so much better because I don't have to pay the subscription for Wirecast. If you didn't pay the subscription for Wirecast, then they would upgrade. And Mac OS would upgrade. And then after an update level or so, Wirecast would conveniently stop working. And you were in essence forced into paying that monthly subscription. So, thanks. I've unintentionally turned this into a Q&A. Dude, I'm all about the Q&A, the question and answer session. So fire away, man. I'm here to answer any questions that I may be able to answer. So, yeah, man, go ahead. That's the thing about my live shows. They're about whatever. So, everything from GoPro to A10 Mini Pro to Rodecaster Pro. That is why I'm here. But yeah, it's just such a powerful tool, and I don't have to deal with that monthly, subscription for support. 'Cause I hate paying any sort of monthly subscription. And there's certain things that I pay that I'm okay with, like Adobe Lightroom CC, because that is the best tool for for editing your raw images. There's nothing better out there, in my opinion. So I don't mind paying that. But when you're dealing with monthly subscriptions, everything adds up, and before you know it, especially if you use a lot of different software and do a bunch of different things, before you know it, your monthly subscriptions are, just $5, $10, $15 here and there. They add up, and it becomes a significant number. So if I can avoid a subscription, buy a piece of hardware, incur that expense, that one-time expense, and then move forward with a tool that's reliable and performs well, and that's what I'll do. And obviously right now, the A10 Mini Pro with the Rodecaster Pro, in my opinion, is the best live streaming setup. Now, it goes without saying you got to have a high-quality camera, because if you just get that gear and you don't have a good camera connected to it, your live streams aren't going to be that great. And I've got the the Sony. I selected the wrong. Oh, there we go. The Sony A7R4. So almost out of water, man. I did a lot of hiking and I am thirsty. I am so thirsty. Yep. So yeah, it's cool stuff. But yeah, everything, any questions you have, comment. Best way to get me is facebook.com/IrixGuy. And I'm always looking for, questions to answer within upcoming videos. So, fire away and I'll see what I can do. But let's see, what do we have? Oh, I am exhausted. I think I'm gonna end this show here in a minute. Let's see. Can't wait to see Irix put the GoPro through its paces on upcoming trail hike. Yeah, man, this thing's going to be awesome on the Appalachian Trail. So some of those, like I said, I'll be summiting the Mount LeConte. That ought to be pretty cool. And then doing a few overnight backcountry camps. One of them's 4,600 feet, which is pretty decent elevation. So that ought to be pretty cool. Got a lot of stream crossings, you got to make sure you keep your camera equipment dry. Oh, speaking of that, I got to get some dry bags. Gotta get some more dry bags. But yeah, guys, I am exhausted, so I'm going to wrap this one up. But stay tuned, subscribe, ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. And I'll be doing their live show here in the next day or so. So ask any questions you have, man. I'm always looking for video ideas. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and y'all have a good day. Hey, y'all, IrixGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.